Hi, everyone. Anne-Marie Chiz here with AMC Connects, another great episode for you. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode. If you didn't get a chance to tune in, we had two great guests talking about celebrations and the incredible interdisciplinary work that's gone into Nurses Week and Healthcare Week. We're very excited about it this year. I think I'll quote Sarah Nobis, but if you didn't tune in, again, tune in. But Sarah had said, we took all the best from the past and have worked hard to incorporate it into 2026 celebrations. So please make sure you tune into that episode and participate in Healthcare Week. In this episode, thanks again for tuning in. For the listening audience, we had made some adjustments to the studio. If you want a little prize, right up to when we aired, Chuck was making it perfect for this episode. We're continually tweaking. If you find out what's changed, put it in the mailbag, and maybe you'll get a little something, some Rome Health greatness. And remembering the mailbag is always important to me and Chuck, but having a little fun with us. I am going to do an update regarding, I think a couple episodes ago, I did talk about some information that was released publicly a little bit before we had heard it. And so I'll have a bit of an update on that because that article has continued. We have a great guest that I actually have been waiting a very long time to be able to have on the episode. And I think it's well-timed for sure.
I think this person's been waiting too, so.
Yes. This is a person that I think has wanted to be able to be on an AMC Connects and as such should, because it's a great person that has amazing content to go over with us. We are going to talk about some healthcare observances, so stay with me, everyone. Welcome back. It's an AMC Connects. Great episode for you, everyone. As mentioned in the intro, I did want to talk about some information a little bit deeper. I believe I had on an episode recently that we did get some media attention regarding a national news article regarding what's going on within healthcare, the impact of HR 1 within healthcare. And I think the headlines I've heard over the last few days and week or so that the headlines was something that brought everybody's attention into some degree in various different ranges. And so I had done a little bit of an update. As a reminder, as soon as Rome Health knows something or me, I like to be able to communicate it to all of you. This particular media attention, a little bit different than in the past. Many times if the OD or the Sentinel, for example, is going to do some information regarding healthcare, many times they reach out to us and they ask us for our thoughts on it and a quote or such. With this particular article, that didn't happen. And so I think part of the headlines was that Rome Health would be in the midst of a number of hospitals that would be so negatively impacted by HR 1 that were at risk of closure. And so we did have some information on a previous podcast about what we're doing about that. And I think right at the top of the year in our first or second episode, I did go over some of the impacts with HR 1, even in the pilot episodes, I believe I did when HR 1 was passed last year. So I did want to talk a little bit about our most recent response over the weekend. Rome Health, like many safety net hospitals across New York State, is continuing to navigate real financial pressures tied to Medicaid reductions in HR 1. At the same time, it's important to note that recent reports identifying hospitals as at risk are based on historical data and do not reflect the proactive steps we have already taken. I think I mentioned this before, to strengthen our financial and operational position. Our focus remains on maintaining stability while continuing to invest in the services and infrastructure our community relies on. We are especially mindful of the human impact behind these policy changes. Any loss of insurance coverage or increase in financial barriers can lead to delayed care, which often results in more serious health issues over time. And ultimately, that's what we care about the most here at Rome Health. Our mission drives us to provide quality health care with compassion. And the manner with which we've done that over the last 5 years in particular is a very aggressive approach to open access and a variety of different needs that the community and the region may have, rather. Our continued response talked about that is a concern not only for individual patients, but for the long-term health of the communities we serve. In Oneida County, we've talked a little bit about that. There's sometimes some delays in care, whether geographical reaches or it's not the right match. So again, that's why Rome Health over the last 5 years has worked hard to stay open and accessible, but for services that we've mapped to our health needs assessment that we do every other year with other stakeholders in the community and in the region. Ensuring continued access to timely, high-quality care remains, again, central to our mission. In response, Rome Health has implemented a forward-looking strategy designed to, again, expand access, improve efficiency, and ensure patients receive care in the most appropriate setting. Initiatives such as optimizing staffed capacity, enhancing outpatient and specialty services, and reducing unused appointment slots are already helping us better meet patient needs. These efforts position us to remain resilient and continue delivering compassionate, high-quality care, even in a challenging and evolving healthcare landscape. As always, when more and more information comes out, I work hard to be proactive, Cassie and I, but in the event that that doesn't happen and something might hit the outside before I have a chance to update everyone, we'll make sure we catch up as close to real time as possible. But I thought this would be like an amazing time to introduce our guest, as mentioned. I'm very excited for our guest. Our guest is very excited to be here, but it is a leader that leads our front lines in acute services that works unbelievably hard to make sure that word accessible is real every single minute of every single day. I'm joined on AMC Connects this week with Lauren Kinney. Lauren,
hi.
Welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being with Chuck and I and the audience.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it means so much. Now, we're really excited for just who you are in general and get to know you. But your position for Rome Health is a real critical one. You're our nurse manager of acute services,
Yes.
right? And tell us how long you've been in that position.
So I have been the nurse manager for acute care almost a year and a half now.
Wow.
Yes. And I started as a traveler on acute care and then transitioned to full-time staff because I was like, wow, this place is nice. Yeah. The only place that I have ever been that I got a good night's sleep before my first day.
Oh, Lauren, that's wonderful.
Yeah, yep.
Tell us a little bit more about, tell us why you were certainly getting a good night's sleep before you first came in, but also what flipped you from travelers. I know that the community hears about so many of our nurses choosing traveling, and what flipped you?
So working in a multitude of different facilities, I had never experienced the family mentality and the teamwork concept that I really noticed in every shift that I worked at Rome Health. And all the staff wanted to do in leadership, we just wanted to be better. We wanted to give better care. We were doing what we needed to do to give the patients what they deserved.
Yeah.
And that was something that I had not experienced elsewhere. So I was really invested and said, this is a place where I want to settle down and where I want to stay.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's what we're striving for, to
Yes.
your point, right? And I feel like you've continued that at a whole nother level, but we're gonna get to that. Being a traveler, now that's something, like you said, you've had the chance to experience a variety of different settings.
Yes.
What was the strongest point about being a traveling nurse, and what was some of the most challenging?
I think the strongest and most challenging are probably the same thing. So the experience and what you know and what you don't know, but what you don't know is what you learn. And especially in smaller hospitals, critical access hospitals, resources are limited, so you really have to work with what you have. And you're working in a multitude of disciplines. And that was something that made me a better nurse.
Yeah.
And even in the bigger facilities that I worked in, having the resources there were fantastic in a sense of that's an idea that I can bring back to wherever I go to. Or giving feedback about what I've done in previous hospitals. So really the same thing, the strengths and the weaknesses.
So it did make you stronger, you
Yes.
think? Yeah. Oh, that's great. Now, how long have you been a nurse?
I've been a nurse for 6 years.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I know.
You some of the research shows as soon as you're over that 5 year, you're an expert now.
I don't feel like an expert, but I appreciate that.
Well, we threw you another kind of line by asking you to be the nurse manager. Tell us about being a nurse manager. Like, why were you interested in leadership? And what made you say yes? It's a pretty big lift, especially in this season of life.
It is. So I never imagined going into a leadership role. I was going to do the traditional be an RN, be an NP, go that route. But then when I came here, I started seeing, I had worked charge other places, but working charge here at Rome, I really got into a good groove and a good rapport with the nurses, a good rapport with the physicians that I was working with. So I really enjoyed that part. So when they asked me, actually they asked me to be an educator first, and that was awesome. Loved that, to work beside my staff. And as a senior nurse on the floor, I was able to provide the real-time education that they needed, but also have the background for the floor as well.
Yes.
And then when they asked me to be the nurse manager, I said, you know what, I'm going to do it because I care about the staff that I work with. And I know the unit, I know the staff, and who better to help them than me.
Yes.
So I didn't want to leave them hanging, and that's why I took it.
Oh, Lord, I love that. Are you glad you did?
I'm so glad I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you like most about the role?
There's so many things. I think the best part about this role is progressing in my nursing career, but doing it with people who care as much as I do.
Yeah.
So that is the best part about it.
Oh, I love that. And you've had a lot in the last year and a half. Like acute care nursing, med-surg nursing has like evolved. It's this amazing specialty now. It's always been critical.
Right.
But over the course of Rome Health's like last few years, we've put a lot on acute care nursing. Talk to us a little bit about what you and our inpatient nurses do to be mindful of access to the community through the emergency department while never compromising the patient's needs while they're needing a med-surg care.
Right.
How do you balance that?
It is difficult. It is difficult, and it takes a lot of people. So really looking at movement. So in progressing care, because sometimes people are a little sick, but sometimes people are really sick. And having my nurses gain the confidence to recognize how to progress patient care in an efficient way, and also recognizing when they're not progressing, and taking into account what goes on in the ED and surgical services. We are a central location for all of the patients getting care at Rome, and understanding that we're all a team. So what can we do to alleviate the burden here, there, who can alleviate our burden, and working together to get the services, whether it's consults, tests, transportation, all of the key components to progressing patient care is what we work very, very hard on.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a balance,
It
isn't
is.
it? Yeah, you do a great job with it.
Thank you.
How do you feel like our other clinical disciplines are helping to support?
Amazing. I couldn't do it on my own, and neither could my staff. So working with COC and working with the physicians and working with the other nurse leaders for the ED, for the ICU, shout out to Michaela and Louie. So we all work together really well.
I think that's huge. Michaela, you, and Louie, I have said in my career many, many times that our frontline nurse leaders are really the leaders who run the day-to-day. And it seems like you guys have such a great relationship in working together. So I didn't miss something, or I'm not being overly optimistic or anything.
No.
Yeah, how do you guys depend on each other?
The first thing we do in the morning is we all meet. We go over what's going on the unit. We go over what we have for staffing. We talk about, I talk specifically about my numbers. So who do I have leaving today? Who do I have coming in today? And we go over what Michaela has in the ED. We go over what Louie has in regards to downgrades or patients who are being transferred out. And staffing, again, that is a critical piece. We always look at who has what where. Do we need to reallocate somebody to a different unit? And going forward on that.
Lauren, that's awesome. So real effective communication. It's consistent, it sounds like. And the three of you can depend on that. Now, how's our chief nursing officer and our directors and the other leaders of the organization helping and responding to what's needed within the day?
They're amazing. They're amazing. And We work very efficiently, the three of us, and then we delegate our information to Kelly, to Ashley, and we escalate our barriers and say, we're working on this, we're brainstorming, we've kind of hit a roadblock, I need some assistance. And they also in real time are working on heavier problems, maybe something that takes more time.
Sure, a little bit longer.
Right.
Maybe.
So they work effectively on that, and we all work together. That is really the best part about it.
So you feel like you have enough support to be able to give our frontline nurses the support they need. Great. Now, you have had a lot of change. You mentioned a little bit staffing safely.
Yes.
And then, we have this tagline, right? To be the best care out there. Here.
Yes.
Do you think we're doing it in acute care services? Do you think we're getting there?
I think that we're doing it, and I think that we continue to get better every day.
Yeah.
And that is the piece of nursing. It's about evolving. So what's perfect today is not going to be perfect tomorrow. So understanding the changes and adaptability is the most important piece to being successful, especially on our unit.
Yeah.
And I really try to encourage my staff, and I tell them how hard that they work every day, because there are obstacles one day that you think, oh my gosh, we're never going to see anything like this again, or we're never going to have something this hard. And the next day, something harder happens. So it's a challenge, but giving the best care out there is something that we all want to do and try to do every day.
Yeah, you set out to do it every day, for sure. Well, tell us what projects you're working on right now, right at the front line.
Right at the front line. So right now we're really working on staff engagement. That is my priority. So working with our huddle boards, and to get that communication piece out, we're working on patient safety in regards to falls, keeping those at-risk patients, giving them the services that they need, or giving our staff the tools that will help them in keeping the patients safe. We're also working on length of stay, which is a big bear, and it's not just my department that's working on that. So understanding, and I'm trying to have these conversations with my staff, because understanding the why is the most important piece. So what can we do to get the frontline staff to understand the very complex length of stay concept? So working on that, and then also real-time barriers, because I need my staff to have the resources available. I need them to not have to worry about the little things. And what else are we working on? Oh, another piece of communication is call bell answering.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so we're working really hard on that, and getting the phones that we need, getting answered in a timely manner, and there's a lot of things.
Sounds like a best care pathway, doesn't it?
We're a little busy, it sounds like.
I know. Great job, Lauren. It's a lot of focus. Because I did hear that you weren't quite as pleased as with your retention rate from last year to this year, your nurse retention rate that you wanted to be. How are you dealing with that? And in light of working so hard, are you okay?
Yes, I take it personally. You know, when anyone leaves, I take it personally. And I want my staff to love coming to work as much as I do. And trying to figure out what I can do to keep them, And it's a lot of the newer nurses. And nursing is incredibly hard, no matter where you go, no matter what specialty you're in. So really trying to give them the support that they need in order to stay. And to realize that, here at Rome, we care. And we want you to be successful, because we're not successful without you.
That's right.
So,
well said. Don't you feel like sometimes our nurses, they move on a little too quick?
Yes.
Like if they just stayed after they get that year, approaching their year underneath their belt, if they just stayed a little bit longer, they would be so happy they did.
Yes.
And that stress level would,
I left my first nursing position after a year, and I truly believe that if I had stayed longer, I would have stayed there for a lot longer. And you build the relationships that help you succeed. And that year mark is really important, and staying just a little while longer, just a little while longer.
Get through that a little bit more. I actually had a nurse manager that when I was going to do the same thing. I was going to give my resignation, and that nurse manager came back to me and asked me why.
Yep.
To your point about the whys, and this is when you could do this maybe back in the days, like 30 years ago, and she said, I'm not accepting it.
Yes.
And in an odd way, I don't think we could really do that
Right,
anymore,
right.
you know, like maybe you could get away with it, right?
Right.
I've tried it. It's not
yeah.
necessarily the best approach, but for me, it felt like, oh, I'm cared enough about.
Right.
Like I'm critical.
Right.
But it was more like what you're doing, which is really trying to understand the whys.
Right.
Like what's going on in your life. And there were some things going on in my life
Right.
that were pretty complicated
Right.
At the time, of
Right.
course, when you're young. So, but I ended up staying and then staying a long time.
See?
Yeah, you're
I
right.
know. And really, I think the hardest thing too, with the travel experience is that you don't get on a personal level with the people that you work with.
Right.
And when you have things happening in your personal life, it's really important to rely on those who care. And the people at work do care. You spend a lot of time with your coworkers, and I always say one team, one family.
I like that.
They're your family too.
Yes.
And to understand that as a new nurse, they're young.
Yeah.
They're young. They have these life changes happening, and you should leave. You shouldn't leave. You should stay
Give
just for a
yourself
little
some
bit to
time.
rely on the people who care about your growth.
Yeah, because you've been working so hard just to get through
Yes.
your first year.
Yes, it's the hardest year.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Lauren, what would you say right now is energizing you the most and that you're most proud of? And then I would love to know the converse. Like, what are you stressed about that we might need to hone in on a little bit more?
So what I am most proud about is the morale of my team. When I walk on the unit and I just say good morning and everyone says good morning back, and when I go to huddles at night and to say good morning to them too because it's their morning, that is my biggest success, is seeing the smile on their faces and giving them the positivity that they need,
Yes.
that they want to see.
I've noticed that, Lauren, since you've been the nurse manager. Like when I say good morning or I'm rounding, people come right out of the woodwork. What's going on? How can we work together?
Yes.
They're excited.
Yes.
That is awesome, that energy level.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good one. That's
It
good.
is.
What's your greatest stress at the moment?
Oh man,
Yeah.
there's a lot of them. Really staffing.
Yeah.
But that is, it's across the board. It's not just Rome.
Yeah.
Everywhere is dealing with it. And it's not even just nursing.
Yeah.
So that is my biggest stress, but I think it will always be my biggest stress. As Kelly West says, there has never been a time in my nursing career that I have not worried about staffing. So
I think that's good that the community knows that,
Right.
though, and that how much thought you're putting into
Right.
it and the team is putting into it. Well, just know, even though I'm with Kelly and we're kind of in the same tenure in terms of the profession, I think that it is my goal to have a waiting list.
Yes.
To get into Rome Health.
Yes.
Like I do wake up energized every day to be like, okay, if I'm going to be the best CEO I can possibly be, what are different ways, right, Chuck, that we are thinking about things, that we're working on things? How am I hearing from you guys?
Right.
So that Rome Health, there's just a waiting list, like
Right.
10, 20 nurses, clinicians,
Yes.
technologists,
Right.
to be able to get in here.
And I was talking with Louis this morning. I don't know how factual it is, but he was saying that because of AI, it's taking away a lot of jobs. But nursing is one of the steady and safe positions, because how do you replace a nurse with bedside care for AI?
Yeah.
Now, this is not a dig, Sarah Dutch. Virtual nursing is very, very important. Okay.
I was going to ask you about that. I'm so glad you transitioned to that.
Yes.
Like it's been so successful. I
Yes.
had some of the early February results of
Yes.
patient satisfaction and March. Tell us, because you're like on the other side.
Yes.
And we've had Sarah Dutch on a few times.
Yes.
Tell us what you think of virtual nursing and how it's going. Give us the real deal.
It is amazing. The real deal is it is amazing. My staff love it just as much as the patients do. And it is very helpful. The only thing, they want it on nights. They want to have it across the board for shifts.
24/7.
Yes.
I love this.
Yes. It is, you can't replicate it. The workload that they take from bedside to give them the time that they need to be with the patients, you can't, there's nothing else that we can do. They're fantastic. And like Ashley says, it's so important for us to get the data through these 5 years, because the one day when Sarah wasn't here, I said, guys, we're going back to the Stone Age. We got to do our discharges. We don't want it to leave.
Yeah.
Yes. So we want it, and we want it forever.
I'm very proud of you all.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, the specificity that we launched it with,
Yes.
the collaboration from our hands-on primary nurses to patients being involved.
Yes.
But I don't want to speak for Sarah Dutch. She does an awesome job speaking for herself. But I think she would say it was the collaboration between the whole team that's really made it a success to date.
Right.
Yeah, this is very exciting. I was so curious to ask you what you thought about it.
It's the best. It is the best. And it's so funny. There was one patient that I was walking in doing rounds on, and he said, you'll never believe it. You know, usually when they say you're going to leave and the discharge orders are in, I told my wife to come back in the afternoon. And then 15 minutes later, I was discharged. I said, yes. When they tell you, you got to call your wife, she's got to be here right now.
So it's really narrowed. Because I remember when we first started tracking, I think this was before you were here, we were tracking the time of discharge order to actually leaving the building. It was like 4.5 hours.
It was long.
Lauren.
It was long.
Yeah. And it was upsetting to patients and families, right? Because once they hear that they're ready to go,
they want to leave.
They want to leave. They want to go home. So you really feel like this has narrowed that time frame.
Yep.
Great job. Oh, I can't wait to keep tracking it, like you said, and measuring this intervention.
So good.
That's great. Okay, so there's some big global things happening too. What do you think about the Magna journey?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I did not get to go to the conference with the girls last time, but I'm ready for 2027 because we're going to be walking across that stage.
Oh, awesome. I love that. I have a feeling too. I mean, the outcomes are just coming. So you're excited about that.
Very excited.
The whole journey.
Yep. Great. And the staff are excited too. It's really inclusive to show the work that we put in, and to have that designation, I hope, gives the community confidence in the care that we give.
Yes. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but I think we'll continue to use Magna as education, and the community can really be proud. I think we'll be the first in this county to have that designation, just speaking life into it like you are. Well, there's another global topic that has had a lot of buzz over the last few years, which is professional dress of nursing and all of our colleagues across Rome Health, but you leading us through an aspect of nursing. How do you feel about it? And we talked about it on this on a couple episodes ago, right, Chuck? We were talking about a number of policies. This was a couple months ago, I think.
Yes.
And so I talked about professional dress, where it stood right now. But I think nursing's talking about another evolutionary point to professional dress. Could you give us a sneak peek and how you're feeling about it?
Well, I am wearing the sneak peek today. Rome Health Blue.
Do we got to get the runway out and you just give us a little, catwalk show here?
Yes. So a little sneak peek is we are looking to having set colors for disciplines, nursing specifically in Rome Health Blue, and giving, professional dress, having that clean, concise look. And I think that having the coordinated colors is going to help exemplify that clean, concise look. Kelly West had a really, really great anecdote. You know, when you see a police officer, you know exactly what they're wearing because they're in a uniform. Or when you see a firefighter, you know exactly who they are because they're in a uniform. So having that uniform for nursing to be in a specific color, I know when I see you, that's a nurse. So I think it's going to be fantastic for our patients and for the staff too.
Sure. What's the buzz amongst our nurses? What do they kind of feel about it with these early discussions? What are their, maybe give us an example of some of their questions?
They're mixed. So some people are excited. Some people maybe have a few reservations. The biggest one being a new wardrobe. And, you know, especially in this economy, it is difficult to say, I need to spend $500 on a whole new set of scrubs. But working really closely with Ashley, our CNO, and what are we going to do to bridge the gap and to help them maybe not feel the burden so hard.
Great, like with time. Or maybe some,
Yes, especially with time. Giving them that January 1st mark, you have the entire year to work on it. So that's great.
So as you're replenishing, right, that you can, that's good to put it out there this early, right?
Yes.
Any other questions that the mixed people that are on the fence, so to speak? And is there anybody that's kind of like, no way, and not even asking you questions about it? Like they're just...
They're always asking questions. So we haven't had anybody who was like, no, nope. And I think that the biggest thing to help them through will just be to talk to them and to take their, questions and give them solutions, because that's going to be the biggest thing to help them, is to give them the solutions to their questions.
Yes, and the whys.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And as many of us who carry a nursing license to champion that,
right.
And all of our clinicians, like we have designations across all of our clinical disciplines,
right.
And having it really be a workforce image that we want to make sure that we, like you said, continue to give that confidence of who and what we are. Great. Lauren, are you okay with us getting to know you a little deeper with some rapid fire?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. We've already asked so many questions, but on the rapid fire, people are usually really interested in your go-to gas station snack.
Oh, probably. Okay, a lemonade. A lemonade or an iced tea.
Okay.
Yes. And a piece of pizza.
Okay, Chuck, I think that's like...
Her and Vicky.
Yeah, Vicky.
Vicky was all about that.
I don't know if you saw Vicky's episode.
I don't think I watched it yet.
Okay, if you go back, there's a fun little snippet in there.
How about after that, she sent me a picture. I think she sent us both a picture that night she got pizza from like Cliff's or something like that, wherever. And she's like, "Look, did you guys like set this up?" We're like, no, we didn't, but we can come down,
Yes. I mean, to the sneak peek, if you do, she's like, the greasier the better. I don't know.
Yes. 100%. Yes. Burn Dairy is great. Fast Track is great. And if you're from like the Boonville area, okay, Hillside Market, they have pizza in the warmer. Yeah,
I think she was Stewart's. I think did she say Stewart's? I think she's Stewart's.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Okay. We'll have to. It's been a little while because I'm at a certain age where I gotta be careful. I tipped, into an age bracket. Anyway, okay, Lord, it's not about me. Movie. What's your favorite movie?
I'm not a big movie person.
Well, you're really busy.
But I do like TV shows. I'm a big TV show gal.
Share with us. What's your favorite? Like series? Like okay. What's your favorite right now you're watching?
I have two staples.
Okay.
New Girl and NCIS, the original.
The original NCIS?
Yes, seasons 1 through 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other one's New Girl?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like serious cop show, and then it's funny. Like, it's,
You need both.
Yes.
To feel like you're fulfilled throughout the day. Okay, great. I like that. Now, your favorite toy as an adult?
My favorite toy?
That can be shared on AMC Connects.
Yes. I would probably say a dirt bike.
Oh.
So, yes. I know. I have my motorcycle license, and then I wasn't riding really, and then I said, well, what about a dirt bike? So my boyfriend and he got me a small dirt bike, and now I am progressing to hopefully a bigger bike. Yes, and doing like motocross things. Yeah.
I'm very impressed with you.
Yeah, thank you.
So wait, what back up the cement truck. So what brand do we talk about? Are you team green or are you team, what are you?
Okay,
here?
so right now I have a Cowie.
Very good, okay.
I do.
Very good.
I do, but I think the next step up, it's either going to be a Honda or it's going to be
what are
a
you doing?
Yamaha. I know.
I know. I was respecting you so much for a moment. Now I don't know.
I'm so sorry.
This is really good. That's good. Lauren, what is your secret talent? I feel like you have a lot.
Oh, my secret talent. I think okay, maybe cooking, or I drive standard. Maybe that's a secret talent.
That is these days.
Nowadays.
Nowadays in particular. Yeah, good for you.
Thank you.
You're like a dirt bike motorcycle.
Yes.
I secretly always wanted my motorcycle license.
Listen, you should do it. You can do the course through NVCC. It's the easiest thing to do.
Okay.
I highly recommend.
It's going to go on the bucket list then.
You really should.
Yes. Okay. Now, this is a newer question.
Okay.
How many AMC Connects have you watched, and do you like it?
Yes. The first one with Lauren Gistra. Dr. Gistra, she's amazing.
She's so cool.
She's cool. Yep.
I know. I feel like if I get close enough to her, I'll be like her.
Yes.
Do you feel that way?
Whenever I see her on the I'm like, I strive to be her one day.
She's so elegant.
Yes.
She's stunning.
Yes.
Too. Yeah.
And she
focuses
so much on patient care.
Yes.
And I just,
It's like, it's a singular focus.
Yes.
I know. It's and it's from like everywhere.
Yes.
Bedside to boardroom
Yes.
to giving to her time. It's unreal. Okay, so you watched that one and you liked
Yes.
that.
Yep.
Okay.
Ryan Thompson's I watched. I listened to part of the one where you were mentioning Brandon, but I can't remember who your guest was that week.
Brandon. I'm usually good, aren't I? I'm
Yeah, you're always. I'm
attached to
trying
the
to think.
episode.
Brandon, what are we?
Ooh, I'll remember by the end. Okay. And what do you think we're doing well, and what do you think we could be doing better?
I think that you're doing fantastic. Okay, I think that having the opportunity to sit with your CEO and talk about what you are doing in the organization is amazing. And it gives both the staff and the community a look into what we're working on. And it's amazing. I think it's fantastic. What you could be doing better? Nothing. Just keep going. That's all.
Thank you,
You're
Lauren.
welcome.
That means a lot because like anything you wonder, right?
Yes.
You launch something, you wonder if it makes a difference or if
Right.
it's landing on people. So Chuck, that was so encouraging, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Lauren. Well, I don't know if you've had the chance to read this yet, but we got a wonderful patient note that was pretty descriptive. Did you get a chance to read
Yes,
this?
I did. It references a lot of my staff.
It does.
Yes.
So I am going to summarize and close with this because
Perfect.
I was so proud. And I think
Yes.
it summarizes nearly everything that you talked about.
Yes.
Is the focus. I'm very proud of you.
Thank
very
you.
proud of our acute nursing.
Yes, me too.
Because it's been a long 5 years and a lot of challenges.
A lot of
But
challenges.
we have continued with a base and a level of pursuit of excellence.
Yes.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
This kind of really highlights quite a bit. And like you said, it's a together thing. It's a big
is.
team. During our ER visit on 4/23/26, the staff set the tone immediately. They were attentive, efficient, and reassuring during a stressful time. Each interaction felt genuine and their teamwork made a difficult situation much more manageable. Triage RN Riley, ER RN Hunter, MD Luna, I think, ER receptionist Michelle. Note the ER was packed and circus-like. The staff were on point and Michelle, the receptionist, was awesome. She took everything in stride and maintained a wonderful sense of humor along with compassion. Riley was the other standout, over the top, kind and helpful. For surgery on 4/28/26, the operating room staff, RN Jim, Sandy, and Ellen were outstanding. They demonstrated confidence, skill, and kindness, taking the time to ensure we felt informed and comfortable every step of the way. Their calm demeanor and clear communication made a world of difference. Our stay in room 219 was equally impressive. Like, wow, Lauren. RN Joanna provided excellent care on day one, showing both professionalism and warm bedside manner. The night one team, I loved that description. The night one team, RN Andrea and LPN Julie, continued that same high level of attentiveness, ensuring comfort and responsiveness throughout the night. Kim RN and Brian LPN delivered top-notch care during day shifts, working seamlessly together and always staying a step ahead of any needs. Like, Lauren, I'm just going to stop there for a second, right? It was almost exactly what you've cast a vision and you told us about, like right here from a patient. Wow. On night two, RN Julie and LPN Lisa were exceptional, attentive, compassionate, and incredibly thorough, truly going above and beyond. On day three, Amy RN and Abby LPN also provided exceptional service. Night three. Night three, RN Denault was good, but underrated, but kind and attentive. I think he had his hands full with every needy demand and not so kind patients down the hall from us. I felt bad for him, but admired his composure.
Yes.
Day four, Corey was great while we had her, and we were discharged around 1:30. Of all the above, I would like to provide special recognition to RN Julie, second floor, RN Amy, second floor, RN Jim, surgery. These three individuals truly comforted my wife and I during her fear, pain, and the unknown. I just can't believe there are still people like this that show this kind of compassion.
Yes.
Lauren, it like goes on.
I know.
Dr. Ruddy is in a class all her own. She educated us from our meeting in the ER and continued to do so throughout our 8-day interaction. This woman is impressive. She instilled confidence in my wife's decision, pre and post-op, and continues to follow up daily. She actually stayed in my wife's room for 30 minutes, acting both as a doctor and a friend while I was called away to work. Again, not expected, but extremely appreciative. Almost every individual we encountered demonstrated a commitment to excellence and patient-centered care. It's clear that Rome Hospital has built a culture of teamwork, accountability, and compassion. We are sincerely thankful for everyone who played a role in this experience. Like, just awesome, Lauren.
Yeah.
I couldn't have written something that I hoped, like we're trying to create this experience.
Yep.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
all your hard work. I know this is every minute of every day that you're doing. We're so thankful for you. If people didn't know Lauren, I'm so glad you got to know her a little bit more. And high five her if you see her in the community or the hallways of the hospital, just leading us through some great things. And a reminder, Nurses Week is through. We have Healthcare Week this week and National Skilled Nurses Week. We have National Mental Health Provider Day, National Speech Therapist Day, National Speech Language and Hearing. As Lauren shared with us, it takes an entire team to have an experience like this in creating the best care out there here.